Hey friends, I'm Frank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group for 22 years in Tampa, and I have the pleasure of sitting with Trish Burt, one of our clients who just recently closed a reverse mortgage with Lincoln Lending Group. And Trish, your story is actually a little bit unique because normally in a reverse mortgage, people are looking to get money out of their home.
Correct.
Or get a payment back to them for the rest of their life. But what happened to you was a little unique. Could you tell us about that?
Sure. So we wanted to do a reverse mortgage. And when I talked to Frank about it, we had to come to the table with some money because we didn't have enough equity just yet in the property. So when we calculated out after the appraisal and what it was going to be to pay off the original mortgage, it turned out that we had to come to the table with $24,000. So I started doing numbers, and we pay $2,054 in a mortgage every month to the bank. But now I'm looking at it and go, okay, let me give the reverse mortgage people that, and then I can pay myself back. So I'm using other people's money now. And then this way, in 1 year, all that money came back that we would have paid the mortgage company, which would have not dropped that principal very far.
Right. And then what are you going to be doing over time with that money?
So that's just going to keep going into the bank, because in 4 years we would have had $100,000 put aside, and we would have never been able to bring our mortgage down that low.
Right.
And then in 7 years, we were going to have to refinance anyway if I didn't do this, because it's a 10-year arm and we had 7 years left on it. And I really didn't want a mortgage at 77 years old.
So did the reverse mortgage take care of your mortgage payment completely?
Yes. We don't pay a mortgage payment. Money goes back in the bank. We're done with the first mortgage. And until the interest rates change a little bit and the equity goes back up, then we'll refinance and we'll probably get money out of the house.
That's a great strategy. Let me ask you this question, because one of the biggest misconceptions with a reverse mortgage is you give your house back to the bank and you lose your home. Do you feel that you're going to lose your home?
No, never. And then we won't even lose it upon death of the last person, because the family can decide, what do you want to do with it? Do you want to buy it? Do you want to
Pay it off?
pay it off, or just give it back if it's gone underwater?
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Which is very rare, by the way, for a reverse mortgage to go underwater nowadays, because we don't lend you 100% of the value of your house.
Right.
It's much less, which is why you had to bring some money to the closing
That's
table.
correct.
What about the experience with Lincoln Lending Group on the reverse mortgage? What would you say that was like?
Okay, I've done a lot of closings in my lifetime, probably over 30 between houses and businesses. This was easy. I did everything that's needed. You have to have your stuff together, but move it through real quick, and then everything starts going through the process. And I knew I did not want to make a May 1st mortgage payment, so we were done and closed before the end of April, and it was about maybe a 40-day window.
Right, right. And let me ask you about the communication with Lincoln Lending Group during your reverse mortgage process. Do you feel like we answered all your questions?
Absolutely, everything. Everybody was very helpful. Everybody connected, text messaging, emails, everything.
Wonderful, wonderful. What would you tell somebody who is worried about a reverse mortgage, or they are concerned that there could be some negatives before they jump into this?
I probably would tell them my experience. That would be it right there.
Yep.
And just let them know. I mean, I've done these years ago up north with some clients, and it was a little bit different, but they worked for the people. People lived off the money.
Yeah.
I mean, they were well taken care of. Now the rules have changed where they're so much better and safer, I believe.
How about what you told me earlier about financial freedom? How do you feel that a reverse mortgage can bring you financial freedom?
Well, we don't have to worry about making a mortgage payment, and I can do whatever I want with that extra $2,000. However, we're putting it back in the bank for now, but still, I can do whatever, and it keeps the whole budget a lot less stressful.
What do you think about the question of people making a mortgage payment on a reverse mortgage?
I would never do that. I would never make another mortgage payment. What's the sense of doing this, and then you're going to keep paying the bank again?
Right.
It's your money. Keep it.
I don't think it makes any sense either, making a payment on reverse mortgage, although you do have
You're
the
allowed
option.
to, right? You're allowed to. The other thing that I thought was quite interesting, when we did our counseling session, the gentleman had said, you just have to live in the house 6 months and a day. And I was like, okay. And he said, so let's just say if you want to travel for 3 or 4 weeks. I was like, okay, so I can go to Italy for a month and then just come back and everything's still cool? Yep, you can do it.
Absolutely, you can.
Yeah.
How about this question? Did you know that the money, if you had taken money out on your reverse mortgage, which you plan on doing in the future,
Yes.
do you know that there is no tax implication?
Yes, I do know that. A lot of people don't know that.
Right.
A lot of people are worried they're going to get taxed on that money, but that is tax-free money.
Yes, 100% tax-free money on the reverse mortgage. So here's a quick strategy. If you were planning on leaving your kids your home and they were going to sell it, guess who's going to take some of their money? The federal government,
Right.
Uncle Sam. But if you take the cash out and put it in your pocket or your bank account right now, you can leave it to your children.
That's right.
And not worry about that money being taxable. So it's a great tax strategy.
Yeah, it is.
What would you say is overall your feeling on the reverse mortgage, and what would we tell any consumer considering it?
I think that they have to keep their mind open and look at all the avenues and understand that it is safe. They're not going to lose their house. That is the biggest thing. And you just still have to continue to pay your taxes, your HOA, and your homeowner's insurance.
That's correct. You are still responsible for taxes, HOA, and homeowner's insurance on a reverse mortgage. However, there are options to have it built into the mortgage if you have enough equity. Just ask us about it and we'll see what works for you when it comes to the taxes and insurance. So, Trish, where could someone learn more about the reverse mortgage without calling me?
They can go to reverseguru.com webpage and get a lot of information there, and then they can start calling the people that are available and get some more information.
Right, which would be myself and a couple of my dedicated staff members who are very experienced in reverse mortgages. It's reverseguru.com, or you're welcome to reach out to me directly on my cell phone. Just tell me you're interested in a reverse mortgage. The number is 813-765-1239. We hope that Trish's information has been helpful for you today, as I know her feedback to me is very important, and we greatly appreciate you as a customer.
No problem. Thanks.